welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
Oh, wait, hey.
This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we listen to all of the records. We rank them from worst to best. We give our biggest banger from each of them if we have one, and we try to have a good time doing it. My name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars and 5 stars only. Please go do that. All the social media is at Asinine Radio. Go follow us on Instagram, all that stuff. Go do it, please. And I don't know. That's all I got for the boring intro. Normally we do the 6 Degrees of Tom DeLonge, but I didn't do it this week. Forgot. Did you do it?
Yeah, I did one.
You did? Okay, let's do the 6 Degrees of Tom DeLonge first. And that's where we connect the band of the week to our boy, Tom DeLonge's. So what do you got? Go.
Like, Dave Grohl's always easy because he's done so much with so many people. So
true.
We did him numerous times. I tried to choose one that we've never done. But Dave Grohl, Probot, Lemmy. And then Lemmy was on Slash's album called Slash.
Oh.
Right?
Clever.
Yeah. And then we know Slash and TB have hooked up before and played together.
Yeah, with the transplants, baby.
TBA. This is what I call Travis Barker. Because we're on personal
No, I get it.
level like that.
I understood.
Yeah.
I know you guys are friends, so yeah, I get it.
Yep, that's it. That's all.
Okay, that's it. That's all we got for the 6 Degrees of Tom DeLonge. Let's get into the album rankings. So we're doing Foo Fighters this week, obviously.
Hey,
that's why
boy.
you're listening to the show. What?
Unreal. Never thought I'd see the day.
That we would do Foo Fighters? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I know one friend of the pod who's going to be excited because he loves the Foo Fighters. I think you know who that is, right?
Nobody should be excited for the Foo Fighters.
Well, I know one guy, it's his favorite band outside of... No, Foo Fighters is probably his favorite band.
Who?
Shady.
Foo Fighters, I don't think they're... I hope that's not his favorite band.
He loves the Foo Fighters.
He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He fell down and hit his head a long time ago.
We're gonna rank their 10 records, and we're gonna try to have a good time. So, what do you got for your number 10, Jeff? What is the worst Foo Fighters record? Go.
You know, I really should preface this because we don't do this often, where we just kind of like shit all over a band. You know what I mean? I did feel bad after a while. I was kind of like, damn, dude, because Dave Grohl's so fucking likable. So yeah, I guess I'll say that. I do have a lot of positive things to say, but I for sure have more negative things to say. But I do have positive things to say.
Okay, let's get into it.
Medicine at Midnight. That's their worst one. It's their 10th album, 2 years ago. This is a fantastic example of a filler record. Just nothing is fucking great about this. Nothing is memorable. I didn't fucking remember what they went like. I have no banger. No song on this even would like caught my eye.
No banger?
My ears. No, nothing. This album was dumb.
Ugh. Okay, that I'll get into that when I get into.
This wasn't good.
At Midnight. Okay, so you got nothing on this one. Just plain old people.
Plain old fucking the worst of it.
All right, my number 10 is Sonic Highways, their 8th record from 2014.
Wow.
Yeah, this one was a very ambitious record because there's 8 songs on the record. He recorded each song in a different city across the U.S., and that's a cool idea. And the idea was to create each song as like based off of the music that came from that specific city. You know, Seattle, Nashville, fucking New York, L.A. You know all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And man, dude, talk about an album falling flat on its face because there is literally nothing memorable from this record. It is boring, straight up boring. More mid-tempo vanilla than I've ever heard from this band. Just the thing with Dave Grohl, he says a lot of things. He has a lot of ambitious things to say, but very rarely does he ever follow through with it. Like Billy Corgan does this kind of shit too, but at least Billy Corgan puts out stuff that's palatable. That stuff that is catchy. That it's sometimes it's a little bit different than what he does, but it's still catchy. There's still substance there. There's literally nothing on this record, and it had so much goddamn potential, and that sucks. Got no banger. Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing more. I don't know. This song sucks.
Okay.
Sonic Highways is not good.
All right. All right.
So what do you got for 9?
9. Concrete and Gold.
Okay.
Their 9th album. I will say, I didn't know this fucking album existed. I never heard of this album. I never seen this album cover ever until this week. I fucking have no recollection of this record ever coming out in my life. So that was weird. I don't know. This is a weird one. It was kind of fun. There's a lot of like heavier metal tones and music overall. They did a straight blues number, I think, for the only time in their career. The song like Sunday Rain was very reminiscent of some psych rock meets like kind of like 90s R&B vocal style. I think like, I don't know, like The Doors, but with like Boyz II Men singing. So it was weird. It was kind of fun. It was cool.
Well,
I don't know.
do you want to know why that is, dude?
Because they've had Boyz II Men sing on their albums before, dude.
Exactly,
and
dude.
this one,
this record.
They had Paul McCartney on this one. They had JT on this one, and they had a guy from Boyz II Men. So that's
exactly.
But that's just because you have a guy from Boyz II Men doesn't mean you make a Boyz II Men song. Never like.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to at that point. And he did. I mean,
it's fine. I don't like any of this, but I thought it was interesting at least. Like on my Nirvana playlist, where I have like just anything related to Nirvana, I threw a lot of Foo Fighters songs on that playlist, and like an alternative playlist, I threw a lot of the Foo Fighters songs. So I do like a lot of their songs. Like honestly, I like fucking like I really really love like 20 of their songs.
Out of 10 records, yeah. So 2 albums worth of music you like from them, which is that's a good amount. That's a good amount.
That's solid, right? That's a lot.
And I agree with you. Most of Foo Fighters, I don't like. I don't care for. There's only one record that I actually like and that I actually have on vinyl, which obviously I'll get into later. But yeah, overall, Foo Fighters aren't that great at all. And do you have anything else on Concrete and Gold?
Nope. That's it. That's all.
All right. So my number 9 is Medicine at Midnight, 10th album, 2021, from a couple years ago, like you said. This one is just the only reason why this is higher than Sonic Highways is because one of the songs is an absolute banger, and it's the song Son of Mine. No Son of Mine. And for whatever reason, I thought this was a song that was supposed to be on the new record that just came out. I think we even talked about it like 6 months ago. Do you remember that?
No.
Or am I completely making this up in my head?
You probably make it up in your head.
I feel like we talked. I swear to you, I feel like we talked about this about 6 months ago, and we both really liked the song. It has that kind of like Motorhead kind of chord progression to it. It's a little bit faster. It's a little bit heavier. It's a great fucking song, but the rest of the album is just boring. Just really, really boring. Some kind of okay riffing going on, but overall the songs are boring and bland. Probably the most interesting fact about this record is that they recorded it like in some sort of haunted house out in Encino, and like they would come to the studio in the morning or whatever, and like all the EQs would be turned down to 0.
So dumb.
Their guitars would be detuned, all stuff like that.
They had to sign a non-disclosure agreement so they couldn't talk about it.
Exactly. Or apparently they recorded video of weird stuff happening in the house. And yeah, then like you said, the NDA was signed by the owner because they were trying to sell the house. So
your favorite album, because I went to Disc College and looked at your collection. In Your Honor is going to be your number 1. So
why are you? Come on, man. Why are you doing this? Why do you have to spoil it? Come on. You're such an ass.
That's all I cared about.
Now nobody wants to listen to this episode because people only listen to hear what my number 1 is.
It'd be funny if you just bleeped it out, like if you over what I said.
Maybe I will do that.
That would be funny.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bleep it out. Yeah, it's a good call. All right. So what do you got for number 8?
In Your Honor, baby.
Oh my God, that's why you did it.
Oh my God. I will say, if you split this album into 2 albums, dude, it would have been exponentially better. You just got to cut the fat from here. Just take the best songs from both parts, the heavy one and the acoustic side, which is not all acoustic anyway, whatever. It's just there's just way too much filler. Even for like a Foo Fighters album, there's way too much fucking filler. And it was kind of cool because they had like more guest musicians on this one too.
The worst.
What?
The worst.
There's a lot of what? I'm just saying. You said what your favorite album was, so I had to do some investigation work. That's okay. They call me Sherlock Holmes.
Well, never been called that. But
The people used to call me all the time. That was my nickname in high school.
okay, continue.
This was around the time when Grohl was teasing the project, them Crooked Vultures, and it's kind of funny that Hami and JPJ was both on this album. I couldn't figure out because Grohl had to tease it for some magazine. I couldn't figure out if this came out before his interview on the magazine or if it was vice versa. It had to have been this came out first and then the other one. I don't know, but that was kind of fun. It was kind of cool. The title,
but otherwise you just don't like it.
The title track here, dude, it fucking rips. It's an absolute banger. Especially like the last part of it. It turns into this fucking amazing kind of like loud punk song. And this is like 5 albums deep. I kind of realized like, dude, the Foo Fighters, they opened their albums with fucking absolute bangers. Like they could do a greatest hits, and it's only like the first track of every fucking album, and I would probably buy it because they're all bangers. It's unreal.
You're right. I'd never really thought of it until you brought it up this week, but you're totally right. And in your honor, that title track is probably that and All My Life are probably their 2 best openers. Without a doubt.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. In your honor, number 8. For me.
Man, that's stupid. You're such an idiot. My number 8 is Echo, Silence, Patience, and Grace. Hate that title. It's their 6th album from 2007. And this one, this album starts strong. It really, really does. The first few songs are bangers. Of course, they're the singles because this is a band who relies solely on their singles because
they're good. The Pretender's a good fucking song, though.
The Pretender is. It's so overplayed. It's very overplayed. So is Let It Die. Very overplayed songs. But the Pretender is just, it's fucking such a banger.
God, it's a good song.
But man, dude, after those 3-4 songs, this album drops so much. It sounds like more boring versions of what they were doing on Color and the Shape or what is the one with the album with Learn to Fly? There's Nothing Left to Lose. It just sounds like B-sides or C-sides to those 2 records. Just boring as shit. Nothing good. Nothing at all. And really my banger is the Ballad of the Beaconsfield Miners outside of Pretender. But that one's too easy. But this one, it's an instrumental, acoustic. Khaki King, this guitar player, she's an amazing guitar player. She played the guitar on this one, and it's just good. It's just a great fucking song. Okay. Right? Come on, get out of here. You're stupid if you don't think it's good.
Okay.
So that's my number 8. What do you got for 7? Go.
Foo Fighters. First album. Foo Fighters. For the most part, this record's good. Musically, it was good. I think Grohl's vocals are weak. They're weak and frail. Like he doesn't bring the same energy as he will refine later on, and it makes sense. It's the first album. That's kind of what he doesn't really know what the fuck he's doing at this time. Nirvana just broken up. He's kind of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then when he does kind of bring the energy, it's very, very generic Grohl sounding. I think the later part of the album was the best because it was the most like Nirvana sounding of the Foo Fighters. And then Foo Fighters have songs here and there that sound fucking like Nirvana could have done them for sure. And I think I like this one more because the last part of the album sounded like fucking Nirvana. But what Watershed and Exhaust, the last 2 tracks, dude, I thought those were incredibly Nirvana sounding, super solid songs. And I liked it. I have no problem with somebody leaving a massive band, starting their own thing, and then still keeping like the band sound from their previous thing and then transitioning into their own. And I think the Foo Fighters, it achieves that purpose.
It does. It's a great segue into what they eventually started doing in the 90s for sure. But I'll get more into that in a bit. So, got anything else on this one?
That's all.
All right. So my number 7 is There Is Nothing Left to Lose. 3rd album from 1999. This is the first album they did with Taylor Hawkins on drums. And then Pat had just left the band. Wait, I think this is the first one they did with Taylor. Maybe not. I think Dave played drums on this one as well. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Who cares?
Because Taylor Hawkins Fucking overrated. But this is the first one that they did with after Pat Smear left the band before he rejoined, and this has the big one, the big hit, Learn to Fly, their best music video, honestly, really, really funny music video. The song, I mean, it's one of those things where the video is better than the song. The song's fine, it's catchy,
Definitely.
but the video is definitely better. Just like OK Go. Can't really remember what those songs sound like, but those videos.
Here it goes, here it goes, here it goes again.
I think you're about to see. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
No.
But it's what it sounded like. But yeah, I mean, this is just like more of what they were doing on Color and Shape, whatever that fucking record's called. It's just more of that, but it's more polished. It's more plain old people. It's just, you see this vanilla progression as the band goes on until In Your Honor, which you already spoiled, but thanks.
Well, you just spoiled it again.
My banger off this one, I know. Maybe I won't bleep it now, but my banger off this one is Breakout, because the video, I like the video when it came out, and it's a more intense song. It's like the only time on the record where he screams, where it's a little bit outside of the vanilla, and it's just a catchy ass song. So that's my number 7 is There's Nothing Left to Lose. Huge record too. But what do you got for number 6?
Number 6. This one was higher, and I listened to it again, and then it dropped. But Wasting Light, I had this one a lot higher. I had this like number 2, and then it dropped to number 6. This was I don't know. This was the only one so far in the listen through that did a lot of different genres and did them well. There's like the normal heavy Foo Fighters stuff that they always do. They're whatever. But then they tried their hand at like some like hardcore like punk shit. The song White Limo, I'm like, dude, that's fucking
so good.
Amazing song.
Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Oh, the video! Oh, you got to watch it. Lemmy's in it, and they're literally riding around in a white limo, and Lemmy's the driver of the limo, and they're just driving around LA and stuff.
Oh, it sounds
pretty
amazing.
cool. It's a cool video.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
so fun. I hate shitting on this band sometimes, but not really. But overall, like, this is just more like meh stuff. This was produced by Butch Vig, right? And it was like they only used like analog recording equipment. So the Foo Fighters had to really practice hard because they couldn't like delete their mistakes so easily. I thought that was kind of fun and cool. But overall, again, it's just 2 or 3 songs and then 7 chud fillers.
Chud fillers, I like it.
That's it.
All right. So my number 6 is it's Concrete Gold from 2017, 9th record. This is the record. It was much better than I was expecting. Being so late in the game, coming off of, fucking, what is it? Echo Silence and stuff like that. It's heavier. It's a little bit faster than those records. And it actually seemed like they were having fun. Like the first time they've had fun in a long time. Like maybe since probably the 90s or something. I don't know. It just sounded more loose and like they weren't just trying to write hits. And it just sounded better, more authentic. So overall, the song sounded more exciting. And my banger off this one is Made It Right. Very 70s, kind of Zeppelin sounding. There's some good little jazzy flourishes with the drums too, which who would have thought? Who would have thought that Taylor Hawkins could do something kind of cool? So I like that. I did like that song, that part of the song especially. And then I was reading more about how Grohl was inspired by the Trump elections to write like more political lyrics. And I thought, okay, this guy says a lot. He says a lot of things about the song, about the band, the songs, the albums. It's like, there's no way his songs are very political. So I went and I read all the lyrics. I read all the lyrics from this record to say that it's bullshit. They're just the blandest, most uninspired political sounding lyrics that it looks like a 15-year-old wrote them. Oof. Like, honestly, man, there's nothing. He's not calling anybody out. He's just saying like, we need a better future. We need better leadership. It's just like, come on, dude, like bring it back to like the 80s, like the Reagan administration, like all the fucking punk bands that came out during that era that we've talked about endlessly, and even the Bush era, as much as like a lot of those albums in the Bush era sucked, they're way better than what this is, and we've talked about it in the past too. Like when Trump was elected, that's like the moment when all these bands could have come forward and like written really cool politically charged records and really said something significant and good and important, but nothing. We got this. We get Concrete and Gold. We get the lyrics on this. We get fucking nothing. And yeah, dude, that's how irritated I was by the time I got to this record listening to it and I read that about the Trump thing. That's how irritated I was that I literally went through and read all the lyrics on this record. And it's just bland, plain old people lyrics. But yeah, that's my number 6. And I wanted to just rant about that. And we'll rant more about what Dave Grohl said in the press. Because I don't like talking shit about him because he is one of my favorite drummers. But he says a lot of dumb stuff. So so what do you got for number 5?
He does say he says a lot of things and was like, really? Are you sure? Like, are you committed to that bit right there? Okay. All right.
Well, if it is a bit, he's fucking committed. So
okay.
So what do you got for 5?
The Color and the Shape, their second album. You know, I think that Monkey Wrench is a cool song musically. I fucking cannot stand the way he sings it. I think it's so fucking annoying. And
why don't you like that?
I think it sounds goofy. Like you were just singing it. It didn't even sound as goofy as Dave Grohl sings it. I just can't stand the way he fucking sings it. But it's a cool song, dude. I like all like the downstrokes. I think it's a fucking cool little like punky song. It's cute. 80% of this album is just chud filler, with some exceptions though. Like obviously Everlong, banger. Like everybody knows fucking it's a banger. Like Grohl's and then because we talked about how on the new thing Grohl does those hi-hat things, right? The little quick hi-hats, and I was thinking like I don't know, like I've never really heard like Dave Grohl do like those quick hi-hat things, but he played drums on Everlong, so he has done that before.
But that's like the only time. He doesn't do it on any other part of the record or on the second record or the first record.
But I didn't know he played drums in Everlong until this week. I thought it was
really? Okay.
I just thought whoever the fucking drum was at the time did it.
No, it was Mr. Grohl.
But the song "See You," dude, that song's a fucking absolute beyond banger. This was so different sounding than most Foo Fighters I've ever heard. It was like some kind of like goofy Fountains of Wayne type pop tune. And like, damn, it had a fucking killer bass line that sounded like it was trying to sound like some fun 20s vaudeville thing. It was amazing.
I don't remember that song.
I was blown away with that song. It reminded me of the theme song from Scrubs. Okay. It just had that type of vibe to it. It was very, very like pop rock sounding, but it was just so fun and just cute.
Cute. Okay, that's a good word.
There was only a handful of songs throughout this listen through that I was really blown away by, but that was one of them.
All right, so my number 5 is also The Color and Shape.
I think we're on number
1997.
I was thinking we're on number 6 though. That's fine.
No, because my number 6 was Concrete and Gold.
Oh, why didn't you do my number? I guess my number 5 would have been a different one, but okay.
Wait, what?
I still have 5 more.
What did I skip? No, because my 7 was Nothing Left to Lose, and then what was your 7?
My 7 was Wasting Light.
Yeah, we talked about that. I remember that. So what was your 6 was
what I just talked about, The Color and the Shape.
Then why the hell did I talk about my number 6?
You like to talk. That's fine.
Apparently I do. Shit. Okay, so then let's get into your number 5 then.
My number 5 is Echoes, Silence, Patience, and Grace. 6 album.
Okay, got it.
And really, I only really care about the top 3 on here. Everything else, like, you fuck. Except for Medicines at Midnight. I can't stand that album. So everything else is kind of interchangeable. But Echoes, Silence, Patience, and Grace, dude, Pretender, like we talked about, that's a banger of a song. It's so fucking good. Sometimes on this album, I thought they were like channeling their inner Beatles, like songs on statues or songs like Statues. It had that very, very Let It Be era Beatles sound, and it was super subtle, and it kind of came and went, but it was fucking there. And I was like, that's kind of cool. I dig that.
I don't remember hearing that. I mean, I hear Beatles in other songs, but yeah, I don't remember that song specifically.
Again, a lot of chud filler. That's fine. My favorite song was also Ballad of the Beaconsfield Miners.
Okay, cool.
And then like there was did you read the story attached to the song too?
Yeah.
Dude, that's so fucking cool, man. Dave Grohl's he's just so cool, right? So like this fucking mine in Australia collapses. Most people get out. One guy dies. 2 guys are trapped in there. They don't even find him for like a week. And when they do find them, they realize they can't get to them safely. So they kind of like reassess how they're getting to them. And the guys just asked for like, hey, dude, can you just like give us some shit to do because we're fucking bored? And one thing they asked for was an iPod with the Foo Fighters' new album on it. And Dave Grohl like personally writes a handwritten note saying like, hey, when you get out, wherever you want to go, tickets fucking free. And after the show, you let me know. The first beer's on me. And like true to his word, right? One of the guys actually takes him up on it, and true to his fucking word, he sits there and he has a beer with this guy after the concert's over, and then writes him a song.
That's so cool.
Come on, dude. How do you hit? Like, you can't hate this guy. It's unreal.
I know.
I feel so bad shitting on this band because he's just so fucking likable. It's annoying.
I know. It's. I mean, he's one of. I think he's. I mean, he is one of the best. He really is one of the best.
He's got to be one of the greatest fucking rock star of all time. He really is. Has to be like in the top fucking 10, dude. Like he's just. People just don't do this ever.
You're right. You're right. And we'll get more into that, on the main episode as well. But no, I do you remember when that all happened? It was like all over the news. It's like right now, with all the submarine shit with the Titanic, which is so overblown. But that's how this whole mining thing was back in whenever this was, 2006 or whatever.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I do remember. It was like right after high school, and I mean, I didn't care like that much, but I thought it was super interesting that people still get trapped in mines.
I know, right? It just seems so 100 years ago.
Yeah, it seems. I don't know.
But
yeah.
Mines still exist.
Mines still exist, I guess.
Still miners out there, dude. Well, okay, so that was your number. What number was it? What? That was your 6 then, right?
That was my 5.
That was your 5, and you already did your 6.
I already did my 6.
Okay, so my 5 is The Color and Shape. There we go. Second album, 97. Definitely a lot poppier here from their first record. It's a huge transition. I feel it's a huge transition because Dave wrote all the songs, but there was still some influence from Nate and Pat. Dave played the drums on this whole record, like you said, but yeah. So along with the poppier songs, you get more acoustic tracks. It's a little less grungy, and more of the songs just kind of bleed together. This is like almost like the beginning of the end for what we knew Dave Grohl as, because even with the first record, which I'll get into, he was still pretty grungy sounding. My banger, come on, man, Everlong. Everlong is the best song they've ever written, or he's ever written for the band. Not his best song, but it's the best song he's written for the Foo Fighters.
The acoustic version is their best song. Yes,
which he wrote.
That's not an official album track.
But it was released. I think it was released even before the album came out, because he recorded it before. I know for sure he recorded it before that record. We haven't gone
to my favorite Foo Fighters song of all time, but I'll get into it when we get there.
Okay, so yeah, Everlong.
We'll get there.
Even come on, man. The studio version, the full band version, is still.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's amazing. It's an amazing song.
Absolutely.
I don't know why you hate it so much. They're so dumb. So what do you got for number 4?
There Is Nothing Left to Lose. Their third album,
I can't believe
99.
it's this high.
I enjoyed this one. It wasn't all of like the same typical Foo Fighters sound of their first couple albums. And I thought this was more mellow. It was more soft rock inspired. They kind of just stayed in their lane, let things groove a little bit more, and just didn't try to do like the typical quiet verses, loud choruses thing that they fucking always do. That's like their namesake. And this one was just kind of like middle ground. And middle ground Foo Fighters sounds like it'd be like the worst thing ever, but like it worked on this one and I enjoyed it. But let me tell you, this is like I said earlier, the handful of songs that really blew me away. MIA, like that song, dude. That song is fucking top 3. MIA is a top 3 Foo Fighters song. That has an unbelievable chorus. You take out like Everlong and then my top song, like that's like one of their best songs. It is an incredible, like fun, soft rock, alt rock song. Absolutely amazing. And if you heard the chorus, like when we go on the pee break in between the episodes, just put on your phone or something. Instantly you'll remember. Oh yeah, I fucking remember the song.
You got to remind me because I will not remember.
Oh, it's so good, dude. Yeah, I enjoyed There's Nothing Left to Lose. I thought like through and through it was fun. I feel like I would never buy this in the vinyls.
Okay, fair. I mean, really, outside of the one I already own, which you spoiled, the only one I would possibly get would be my second ranking, which I don't have, so you can't look it up. All right, so that's your 4. There's Nothing Left to Lose. MIA is your banger. My number 4 is Wasting Light, 7th record from 2011. Like you said, Butch Vig produced this one. They recorded this record in Dave Grohl's garage at his house in L.A. It was a makeshift studio. They built everything. They wanted to do something just very kind of low key, and they would barbecue every day. And they actually did like a little mini documentary about this one too. And I remember watching it when it came out, and it was just cool watching them just kind of jam it out in a garage and go swimming and then hang out with Dave's kids. And then the other guys would bring their kids over, and it was just like this huge family kind of like environment. And it was really, really cool. And then going into they recorded everything on tape. Even they did everything on tape up until I think it was like post mastering. So, it was mixed analog. They even cut up all the tape with they were doing like the old school razor blade way. And Butch Vig was like, you know what, fuck this. We're going to do it a different kind of way. It's still on tape, but it's like start and stop style or something like that, rather than literally splicing it with a razor blade. So the idea was there, which is really cool. It's ambitious for its time, and I appreciate that. But once again, Dave Grohl says a lot of things. He does a lot of things with this band, but nothing really hits quite as hard as you're kind of hyped up. He's a good hype man.
He's a good hype man. Yes,
he's a very good hype man for the Foo Fighters, and this is one of those examples. Like you said, Chris Novoselic was on this one. First time they've really kind of worked together since Nirvana, and that was rad. He played bass and accordion. I think it was on Dear Rosemary. I think that was a song. But my banger off this one, Bridge Burning, the first song, the opener. Once again, the opening track, absolutely killer. White Limo too, great, crazy punk song that they've never done a song like that. Like the closest song might have been Low off of One by One, but otherwise, yeah, they've never really done anything like that one. So, that's all I got for Wasting Light. That's my number 4. What do you got for number 3?
Number 3, album of the week. But here we are.
Oh, you know why? Oh, you know what? I fucked up.
You did not put album of the week in there, did you?
I did not rank the album of the week. No.
Okay, here we go. So let's go back.
I forgot to put it in there. Okay, yeah. So I did mess up. I'm sorry. I forgot to put that one in. So
okay.
The album of the week would go it would be put as my number 8. So my number 8 is that. My number 9 is Echoes. Yeah, 9 is Echoes. 10 is Medicine, and then 11 is Sonic Highways. So I really fucked this one up.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's that low. Yes.
That's low. That's pretty fucking low.
It's not that great of a... Well, we'll get into it.
I mean, none of these are really that great of records, but...
Whatever. Okay, yeah. So that's where that discrepancy was. Yeah, 10, 15 minutes ago.
That's okay.
So that was your... Okay, so your number 3 is the new record. My number 3 is One by One. Fourth album from 2002. This one, it has some fucking bangers, man. Absolute bangers. It's a little bit heavier. It's a little bit more, I don't want to say raw sounding because it's not, but it's a little bit more daring. Let's just say that it's a little bit more daring than everything that they had done prior or even after. It just sounds a little pissed off, which Dave Grohl's never pissed off. Even like in his more aggressive stuff with Dream Widow and Probot, he never really sounds pissed off.
Nah.
Except for this one, he just sounds irritated. And then reading more about where the band was at, they were like on the verge of breaking up, and they recorded this record essentially twice because they hated the first version of it. So they went to a different studio, re-recorded the whole thing over like 3 weeks, I believe it was. I think, and this was also the first record that Taylor Hawkins played drums on. So there's that as well. And it's also the first album with Chris Shiflett, the new guitar player. Rhythm or lead, I don't know what he is. I don't even know. There's no real lead guitar, which is, we'll get into later as well.
They don't do anything.
Exactly. Got 3 guitar players doing a lot of the same. But my banger off this one is it's either Low or All My Life. It's really, Low. Did you watch the video for Low with Jack Black?
I don't think so.
In the hotel room? I told you to watch it, damn it.
Did you?
I did. I told you to watch it. It was off the pod, but I did tell you to watch it. Because it's just, it's a made up video. I mean, it's not like a real reality kind of video, but in the story, him and Dave Grohl and Jack Black go to like some seedy motel, and they just bring a bunch of booze and they get really drunk throughout the night, and then they start daring each other, and then it gets weirder and weirder as they get more and more drunk, and it gets trippier and more fucked up, and then it ends up with them both dressing in drag.
Yeah, I've seen that video before.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking like what do you call it? A home video camera, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then the video ends with I think it ends with the next morning. They both walk out of the motel normal, like nothing happened. It was just like, damn, dude. It was a funny video though.
Wild.
Yeah, it was. So that's my number 3 is One by One. It's an absolute. I don't say it's a good album. It's not an absolute banger. It's a good album. Just those 2 songs are absolute bangers.
All right.
Playlistable for sure. So, what do you got for number 2?
Sonic Highways, dude. Sonic Highways was... I cannot believe you fucking hated this so much. Okay,
so boring.
I will say the closing song, I Am a River, that's a fucking certified stinker. It's like some fucking shit church band doing a song for their shit congregation that they don't even know what fucking good music
Congregation.
is. Congregate. It sounds like something Thrice does now. That's what Thrice does. Congregation.
Yeah. Congregation.
But damn, man, like this album was fucking fantastic. The entire album overall, I shouldn't say it's fantastic. I don't think any of the albums are fantastic, but this is my number 2 because I think overall it was just better. It was better Foo Fighters music.
Yeah.
What was that noise?
Oh, sorry. Tammy came in and she's talking. She was
talking shit or what?
No, she was just like, I scared Brooke. Okay, I don't care.
Tell her what's up.
Jesus. This is why Tammy shouldn't be here while I'm potting.
Tell her why, because we get distracted.
Yes.
I thought the whole album hit harder, and it was just like a good rock album. Like it was just solid.
I don't know, man.
Stay in your fucking lane, man. And the song Outside, dude, that is an absolute fucking banger of a song. That reminds me of the song The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. Because it's like, it's so long, it does something. And on the new album, they try to do the same exact thing and just fucking failed at it. But it's very reminiscent of like The Chain. Like it's a good song in the beginning, it's a good song at the end, and it's got an interlude there that bridges the two, and it's got an amazing bass line, and everybody rocks, and everybody just lets it flow, man. Let it go. Let it go.
Man, I don't. So you were able to hear like the differences in style, I guess, between the different songs?
Oh yeah, I mean, not just because.
Pick up on it.
I mean, it's kind of funny too because one of the songs is called "The Congregation," and it features Zach Brown. But yeah, absolutely, you could pick up on the different genres. They're subtle because it's still like Foo Fighters featuring somebody else, featuring that sound. But I thought the only song that I absolutely fucking hated, and it's like one of the worst songs I've ever done, is "I Am a River," and it's from this album. But I thought everything else was pretty damn good.
So it was what is it? The Sky is the Neighborhood, not off this record, but off what is that off of? Maybe Medicine at Midnight, I think it is. That song's a fucking stinker. That was a single too. That was one of their singles. Terrible. But what?
That's it. That was my number 2.
That's all you got for number 2. All right, my number 2 is the self-titled record, first album from 1995. I mean, Dave Grohl, I mean, what can I say about the guy, man? He played everything on this. He did literally everything. He produced it. He I think he recorded it in like 6 days. He recorded the record in 6 days, which is pretty crazy. I mean, for this kind of just work, it's just a lot of work. Doing this in 6 days, the vocals, bass, guitar, overdubs, drums, everything. That's remarkable, man. You got to give it up.
It's a lot of fucking work, yes.
I mean, yeah, Travis Barker can record the drums for a Blink record in like a day or two. But Travis Barker also isn't doing every fucking thing else. So
Dave Grohl's not doing anything exciting anyway, so that's all
right. But also, mind you, a lot of these songs were written prior to 1994, 1995. They go back to like 1989, I believe. But still, it's a huge effort. It's a lot of work, and it's remarkable that he did it so quickly. But I like this record a lot because it is heavier. It still has that grunge sound to it. There's a ton of Nirvana here. He channels a lot of Kurt Cobain in his vocal stylings. Is that the right way to say it? I don't know.
Yeah.
But the way he sings is very, very much like Kurt. And it makes sense. I mean, Kurt died a year before this. And I like how raw sounding this record is. And I haven't listened to this record, I don't know, in at least 10 years. At least. And I was I might get this on vinyl. I might get it on vinyl. It's that cool. It's not like a perfect album, but it's just really cool. It's a cool in its idea, cool in its execution, and I feel like if I listen to it a few more times, I'm really gonna like absorb it and really, really enjoy it. And it could end up being my number one at some point.
Oy.
I think this is a really special, really vulnerable record. I know lyrically, the lyrics on this record are all throwaway, completely throwaway lyrics, because that wasn't the priority, much like most of the other Foo Fighters records. But we'll get into that later. But yeah, no, this is a good one. So my banger is I'll Stick Around. Just that, I love that riff. It's so Nirvana. That riff right there is Nirvana. The way he sings too is very Kurt, and it was a good homage to the band, but not a ripoff, which I thought was really rad. So that's my number two. Foo Fighters. What do you got for number one?
Sticking to it. Okay. One by one, like another night. Firstly, All My Life is their best LP song. That is their best fucking song they've ever done officially.
I like how you said that too.
Because Acoustic Everlong is
song.
like their best. That's just like, that's money. But All My Life, dude, when you first hear that crack of like the guitar, like it's just so raunchy and so nasty. They've never even achieved that kind of sound sonically outside of just that one intro fucking riff. It's unreal. And this record was simple. This record was surprisingly good. It hit really hard and it hit really fast sometimes. These songs were they were like better versions of bland Foo Fighters. And Girl didn't always sing. And there was a lot of like room here that they left for just mid-song jamming. Love mid-song jamming. And I forgot about Times Like These. Times Like These is like my intro to the Foo Fighters. Man. And it's, god damn,
did you
so
listen to the
nostalgic for
acoustic
me.
version too?
Yes. I mean, not now, but
love-
I love the acoustic version.
The acoustic version is better than the regular version too, like Everlong.
That is my, when we get into an origin story, but yeah. But Come Back, the song Come Back, that gets a super honorable mention.
That is a good one.
Because it's an absolute banger. It's 7 minutes and it goes from hard to soft and ends fucking hard again. And it's this wild ride and it's definitely a top tier Foo Fighters song. One by one, I would be hard pressed. I would only get this if I saw like an OG copy coming through my record store. I'd buy it. Otherwise, I probably would not buy this.
Yeah.
Because I have their greatest hits already.
You said something there, but
Oh.
I mean, what?
Oh, what'd I say there?
So I mean, I thought about getting their greatest hits as well.
I already have it.
I know you do, but I've thought about getting the greatest hits as well because I don't want to get all their records and have all that filler and bullshit. I just want the singles, man.
Dude, the greatest hits is good. It opens
I know.
front to back, and it closes with Acoustic Everlong. So like
I know
everything.
I looked at the track list too this week, and I'm like, damn, dude, this is like one of the few comps I would actually really, really want. So I think if I found it for like $20 or less, which I'm sure you could find, it's Foo Fighters.
Yeah,
I'd probably pick up the comp. So
it's a good comp.
Is that all you got for All My Life?
That's it. All My Life is their
or
best
One by
song.
One. Sorry, One by One.
That's their best
It's the
song.
same fucking thing.
Fact.
Yes. So my number one is In Your Honor, dude. Fifth record from 2005. I just like, that was weird. You hear that whistle?
I did not. Are you whistling now?
No, it was just like my voice. I was trying to talk and it was just like I whistled instead of spoke. It was that was weird.
That's all right.
In Your Honor. I will say I don't really like the acoustic part of it. Take out the acoustic part. It's a great record. It's a solid record, especially like the first 7 songs really just like banger after banger after banger.
He's snapping.
I was snapping, man. I love this record. The opener, In Your Honor, just that there's that build up with that, just the guitar, that just that simple chord progression. It builds and then Taylor just goes, he's just hitting those drums, just that constant. What is it, the eighth notes, or I don't even know. I think they're just eighth notes. Yeah. Just hitting every drum, the snare to the toms, to the floor toms, and then back to the snare, just over and over again. And I just love it. And then it just bursts into that really fast punk part, like you were saying, and then it stops, and then you get those 2 drum hits into No Way Back, which I think is the catchiest song on the record. I fucking love that song. That's my banger. No Way Back is my banger, the second song. It's so goddamn catchy, and it's still kind of heavy, and it's still faster. DOA is another great song. Even the single, as overplayed as it is, it's still it's called. Oh my god, what is the name of the fucking big single?
For Me Your Honor?
No.
Best
Someone
of You.
Getting the Best. Oh, Best of You. Best of
Yeah.
You. Best of You is the big single, and even that one, that's a great song. That build up in that bridge.
He just says Best of
fucking
You too much
fantastic.
in that song.
He does say it a lot, but it's still really good. It's still a solid song. I really, really, really love this record. Also, there's a lot of nostalgia attached to it, where, this album, I'd always people had known that I liked Foo Fighters, and my parents got me this CD when it came out, because it came out right before we graduated. So it was this little graduation present or whatever. And they bought me this Foo Fighters record, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Thank you so much. Whatever. And then I started listening to it in my car, and I just loved this record. And then I would listen to it with Chris. Chris and I would be driving around, just aimlessly driving around Orange County, just listening to Foo Fighters or Blink or whatever it may be. So I have this crazy nostalgia for this record, just because I listened to it so much. And I really, really do love this record. The songs are really, really catchy and solid and fast and heavier at points. It's just a great record, man. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about it.
All right, that's fine.
It's killer, man. It is killer. This album literally reminds me of the day we graduated high school. Because after that night, I remember going out and hanging out with everybody, and we listened to this record. Maybe not with you, but I know with Chris and stuff. We listened to this record after we graduated high school. So it became this album became this one of the soundtracks for that summer after we graduated high school. Weirdly, it just, I don't know. So that's where all the nostalgia lies. But anyway, that's all I got for the rankings.
That's it. That's all.
Do you have anything else?
Nah, that's it.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars and 5 stars only. Tell all your friends and keep listening. And we're going to get into the Foo Fighters album. What is it? But Who We Are?
See, it's not even we're already, who cares?
But here we
even?
are. But here we are from the Foo Fighters. So thanks for listening. That's it. That's all.
Dig roll.
There we go.